Just how tall is Stan's truck? Well, there it is, next to mine. That's how big the truck is. Uh-oh. Dang, he's hauling. We are officially back from SEMA. This truck is back from SEMA, I should say. Everything fixed from Tuan's shop. Got the alignment is done. And there were a few other things that needed to get kind of finished up after the show. So everything is good to go now. So because we were in such a rush to get this thing done, I don't think we ever did a full walk around overview of this build. So if you want to kind of tell us what all is done, if you can remember.
That's a lot of stuff. Right?
A pie? Okay, we're gonna do top down.
Top down, that'd be the easiest way to start. So cab lights, we're done with fast headlights. Get my cab lights set up. So obviously the white out. He was gonna do the paint match, but I actually asked him to keep them black. Reason being is because the recon tail lights are really dark, so we keep it black up there. Fast headlights did the cab lights and
the headlights.
So before we get down to the headlights, so we did do the Starlight Headliner in it. It's supposed to be an 850 piece kit. I feel like we're probably a little bit more than that because it's just a big bundle of fiber wire, and I think they kind of get what they can in there. I think we're closer probably to the 900 number. I know it felt like a million, but so we did Starlight Headliner.
Yeah, it felt like a million for sure.
Yeah, it was a lot. So headliner came down while we were doing that. We did the cab lights at the same time. Then the mirrors were taken off, fully disassembled, paint match. Then we have Boostautoparts with a switchback turn signal, tow mirror turn signal for the 2020.
Also painted.
And that, yeah, so that they have that strip of paint on either side, make them look like they're one piece. Hobbs chase rack on the back is powder coated to match all the suspension up underneath. So Illusion Cherry and what we call silver, super chrome, but it's not really super chrome. It's like a silver with a flake on it.
Yeah. So there's the Starlight you could kind of see.
Yeah. Get up in the door. It's actually clean inside.
Oh, nice.
Take all my crap out the inside of it.
Nice. Look at that. That's a lot of freaking stars. And there we go. That's a good picture. And then
a few pieces of filament.
Oh wait. How'd you get yours to twinkle?
Oh, they do it. It does.
It does.
Started doing it.
You just started doing it randomly?
Doing it.
All right,
I
cool.
Set it up anyway. Just started doing
nice. All right. Now I like that. Twinkling way better than like just standing or just sitting. Yeah. And then we did like what, 5 shooting stars?
Yeah, there's 5 total shooting stars in there that kind of randomly go off.
There you go. Let's see if we can catch one. There we go.
Yeah.
So Hobbs chase rack.
Hobbs chase rack, which this is a prototype. Me and Matt both got them to try to kind of help them work out the kinks so they can take these to full production. So these are they look good, but they're a little bit flimsy.
Yeah.
And I know that they're beefing them up for the post-production setup. So we're gonna hopefully get another setup on here, maybe a little bit different. I didn't want to put like the wet sounds on there or something, so speakers. I know
Yeah.
me and Matt had both talked about doing something like that. So we may change it up and add some speakers. So we may remove the whole thing altogether. We'll see what ends up going. So from there, coming down, we got recon tail lights.
Okay. Yeah, these definitely have potential. The Hobbs chase rack.
Yeah, they do. I think they
Yeah,
really
they got
work
potential.
out well. It's. I've actually had a lot of people ask me about it. Like,
Yeah.
where do you get that rack from? And I'm like, Hobbs. So people are interested in it. I think it kind of differentiates it just from a regular truck. But as far as functionality, I don't know that it does quite what it needs to yet. But it's getting there. So
Yeah.
at least design principles there. We just need to get it a little more solid. So we're working with them on that. So recall tail lights.
Just a standard smoked out one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so. I had these on my truck first, and I kind of prefer the factory C shape better than these. Just happened to really match Stan's truck, so we're like, let's just go ahead and put it on his truck, and I'm gonna go back to factory. So that's what we did.
This is the reason why we kept the cab lights black.
Yeah.
These are, in the daytime, they're actually black. So
Yep.
we have some pieces that kind of match on. So we come down from there, and we obviously have the Kelvin grill bumper on here. This is the Delta series, and then the hooks from Royal Hooks.
Royal Hooks.
These were actually originally built for monster hooks, so we had to make some modifications to make this work. Because Royal hooks up on a lifting line instead of like with the normal like shackle the way these are set up.
Yeah.
So these ones are a little bit loose, and if you see, we actually put some padding in the back to protect my
Oh,
bumper
nice.
from
I didn't even
swing.
know we put the padding in the back.
Yeah, I bought that just for that purpose because
Nice.
we were towing, and I didn't want this like smacking my bumper,
Yeah.
so I put a little pad behind it to
Okay.
keep it from smashing. Then Twisted Pro pods in the bumper. These will hook up to the reverse lights. When I hit reverse, this will kind of light up in the back and blind whoever's behind me.
Exactly.
Obviously, you got to have the Gen Y.
Gen Y.
It doesn't have a Gen Y.
Fully powder coated.
Fully powder coated.
18-inch drop.
18-inch drop. Even had this repowder coated in black just to make sure it
Nice.
was like pristine for the SEMA show.
Yeah.
So now around.
Well, and then you got the hitch right there. That's also powder coated too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We took this off.
the receiver?
So, yeah, the entire like hitch bracket was actually removed
Yeah.
and powder coated and then reinstalled back on the back.
Well,
So-
since we're here, let's just go ahead and talk about everything that's right here.
Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff up under here. So obviously I've got the, these are the K5 HA, these are Nathan air chimes. These are original to a train. These are not a replica. These are not plastic. Those are actually sandcast aluminum. Those were on a locomotive at one time, and they retired the locomotive, and they ended up on my truck
Nice.
after we bought them. Yeah.
Can y'all hear that? Actual aluminum. So
And then power in those, we've got dual bi-air 440C compressors and a 5-gallon tank right here. So
on the Goliath mount, right?
yeah, Goliath mount from Wicked Customs. So that one actually I ordered directly from Wicked Customs. I didn't go through more blasters for that setup. I actually just went directly to them. Then we got the rear end. Obviously, we completely disassembled, powder coated with the bank stiff cover on it, which is actually taken off in popularity. I know you got your feelings about banks, but that's a great diff cover. So, and then obviously using the Bilstein 8900 shocks for the back end.
They're long.
Yeah, super Resis, valves for the truck, so they actually ride really well. The truck surprisingly rides better than factory in this setup, which I think a lot of people are probably really surprised by that.
Yeah.
You got the drop shackles from the Third Coast kit that bring my leaf springs down, and then the block that brings it up, and then obviously the long U-bolts, custom brackets to hold those U-bolts that attach to the track bars, which we're working out some issues with the track bars being a hair too short. We're going to get those adjusted, and we may end up going ahead and cutting the front end off and then putting in a line joint up front so that we can make that adjustment up to the top.
Right.
Leaf springs, you can see they're all powder coated, on off. So you can do two different colors to kind of just set them off a little bit. And then obviously we got the 20-inch JW Motorsports quad wheel rings back here to light up the wheels.
Oh yeah.
Back side of the wheels, you can see, are all powder coated in illusion cherry. These are TIS 2816 forged with illusion cherry in the back and then full polish up front. Inside the wheel, I guess we can jump around there.
All right. And everything that's powder coated on this truck was done by Jimmy Rivers in Augusta. And then everything painted, like the bumper and all the paint match parts, were done by Rick's Paint and Body in Augusta as well.
So I guess before we get to the wheels, obviously you can see the fenders, the Fender Flares Flares are not the original black plastic. These are actually painted. These are the plastic ones. These are not the aftermarket you can buy from GM, because for some reason GM doesn't want to sell tri-coat red quartz Fender Flares.
Yeah, they only want to do black or white.
Yeah, black or white, that's it. So, and then obviously the Boostautoparts Fender Flare markers that were redone by Phil.
Yep.
So these were actually original Boostautoparts, and then Fast Headlights redid these for me so that we would have this beautiful looking light right here.
Yeah, because
also painted to.
Because the Boostautoparts, it comes in amber light.
Right.
So they said legally they cannot have white lights coming out from the side of the vehicle. So they can't manufacture them, but that's why we have the aftermarket industry that can retrofit them. So Phil does an amazing job. Oh yeah.
So all of these were painted. All of these, actually, all the paint that you see was done by Rick's Paint and Body here in Augusta. The Fender Flares, the mud flap caps, and all of the lights. Anything that was actually painted in Trico was done at Rick's Paint and Body. But I've got the Capco floaters on here, and then I also have
nice.
And then, geez, I can't think of the name now. My brain is.
True Spikes.
True Spike. True Spike lugs. So we got True Spike lugs, 50 cal lug nuts, all of them in red, and then I've got the True Spike antenna up front too. They were really good, man. They sent me like a huge bag of like swag for like SEMA. So I had face masks,
Nice.
I had keychain. Actually, matter of fact, I think my keychain that's in my on my keys is from True Spike too.
Oh yeah, and then I think one thing we forgot to mention is the TIS wheel. The powder coat on this was done by Vivid Powder Coat in Colombia. So that's the only powder that wasn't done by Jimmy.
Yeah, and the only reason is Jimmy's guy doesn't like doing things that are two-tone. He'll do one solid, and that's really it. When it comes to doing anything that's two-tone, like where we have the back barrel and the windows coated, but none of the face is actually coated, he's not really comfortable enough doing it, so we sent that one over to Vivid. He was nice enough to actually fit us in, because he's like a jam-packed schedule.
Oh, yeah, because he does really good work.
Yeah,
both of them
really
do.
Good work, stays busy all the time, so he actually kind of pushed us into his schedule, and I was really appreciative. So, Brad, for watching, thank you. And obviously, Fury, the 42s, right? So,
42 1550s?
42 1550 R28s. And surprisingly, I have none of the wheel hop you're talking about.
Really? Dang.
Not at all. It actually rides smooth as hell.
Jeez. See, I got a terrible wheel hop. Or around 45 to 55. It just bounces, and it's weird. It almost feels like it's not balanced.
Paint match on the original bed step that was black plastic. We kept this purposely black because if I have to step on that, I don't want it to be painted. I hate to have to step on things that are painted. So we kept that one, that part of it black plastic, so that if you step on it, wear it out, it's easy enough that you're not worried about scratching that paint. And then up underneath, so you have this is the custom third coast kit. It is a drop kit, but he built it with a cradle style and gave me the track bars in the rear and a track bar up front to try to keep everything kind of a geometry nice and tight, especially at that height. You don't want things folding. And the plan at some point is then to build this truck and delete it if it doesn't end up, obviously, sell it or start a new build or something. So if we put a lot of horsepower to this, at least now we have the structure up underneath to keep all of the axles in place and keep them from moving in or out or rolling too much as we're going down the road. All of that was obviously powder coated. There's a lot of video of us disassembling this, powder coating everything, and then trying to reassemble all this stuff back together. It's quite an adventure for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I like the cradle setup because it really drops everything to pretty much factory height. Or factory angle, I should say.
So back up to the front, you have the dual Bilstein reservoir shocks up front, all put onto a custom A-arm that was built by Third Coast. Obviously, you can see the drop bracket that's down there. The factory lower control arm still retains all of the angles. Everything is basically just taken from its position in factory and then lowered down 18 inches and put onto a new cradle for it. Instead of running the normal like drop bracket to a tie rod setup, you can see I have a lot beefier of a suspension setup, so I'm also obviously running a bigger tire, and so it would wear out most factory components pretty quickly. But this runs heim joints instead, and it keeps everything as though the factory geometry is up high. Yep. And on the bottom end, it uses a stabilizer rod in the middle that's tied into the cradle to help stiffen it so you don't get a lot of sideways back and forth flexing as you're turning these big tires. So when I did my black truck, it had the same setup, kind of similar, of just some slight like design changes to it. But when I took all of my stuff off, the only thing that was, and it was only slightly worn out, was the idler arm. Pitman arm was perfectly fine. Idler arm was a little bit worn out, and I just happened to have another kryptonite one lying around, so I just threw it in before I sold my black truck.
But it is so natural for these idler and pitman arm to just wear out on these GM IFS vehicles.
Yeah.
Just one of those components that you just got to upgrade to kryptonite ones.
Well, you got to think, on the black truck, I was running 40-inch tires and 22-inch cast wheels, so they probably weigh close to as much as these did, on a high lift, and I drove it all the time. I drove it at high speed, and really to have just like I could have gotten away with still having that, but knowing that somebody else was going to have the truck after me, I was really wanting to make sure that somebody had a vehicle that was like a good quality. I know my name's on the build after it goes away from me. I don't want somebody having issues with it after and be like, oh, that guy sucks. He didn't know what he's
That's true.
So it was, I replaced that component just so they had a new one, and they got a high quality version of it. So, and back up front, obviously we have Kelvin front bumper, same thing, Delta series, twisted pro pods, twisted pro light bar, and the roll hooks in the front bumper. Now these ones I tightened up a little bit better, so they actually sit.
There you go.
But I don't need padding in these. Obviously we paint matched the grill surround, so this was all chrome, and this was all chrome like most Denali's. They took like almost 8 or 9 hours to prep these two pieces to get them so that the paint would actually hold. Turns out most GMs, even the black ones, are like a black chrome underneath.
Yep, so, mine, like my AT4 grill.
Yeah, when they paint match yours, it was the same issue. So they knew it going into it, and they still did it for me, because if not, I was going to send it to another guy that was pretty proficient in painting like the chrome stuff. I wanted to keep the factory grill. I really liked it, and obviously I have the light up GMC emblem from GMC. Yep,
that's factory.
Part.
Wish it was a little brighter though, but it is what it is.
I do, yeah, but it's a factory part, so you're not going to be like crazy bright. But you can see it at night when you're driving.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it looks cool.
I want to do it.
Yeah. So obviously Phil did these headlights for me. We did tri-coat red, so it's the same as the body inside the headlight.
Matches really good.
Matches unbelievably. And then the silver instead of where the chrome was on here. And the reason was because to paint these, Phil had to tape all that stuff off. And the big issue is that chrome, a lot of the time when you put tape to it, or you put a good tape to it, will actually peel off. So you'll end up with like plastic where the chrome is peeled out. So we decided, let's get these painted, but let's paint them to where they match the silver in the suspension. So we kept it silver inside. He did the switchback setup, which he built the boards for, and then clear corners on it. So unbelievable job. He turned them out in like 4 days or something like that.
I mean, that's why his name is Fast Headlights, and he's actually fast. He doesn't hold on to your parts for like weeks or months like most places do. And that's the sucky part about these like retrofit companies. It takes them 6 months to get your headlights done, and it sucks.
The good thing with Phil that I really like is he stands behind whatever he builds. Yeah. And so I know, like, I don't know too many people that have ever had issues.
No, and if you do, he'll stand behind it.
He stands behind it if he does. But I'm telling you, honestly, I don't think I can say one person I know of has ever had an issue that has Phil's headlights. So Phil's like super quality, super thorough. Obviously, the caliber of what he does is not like your like weekend work. I mean, the dude's a pro at what he does. So,
and he also won't take any work if he's booked up. He'll straight up tell you, be like, I can't do your stuff until I catch up with all my work. And that's one thing I really like about him. Oh yeah, I know a lot of people in the industry that does that, and I've heard.
Overbook themselves.
Yep, I've heard a lot of bad things about certain lighting companies. So
so no, Phil's super professional. Like honestly, man, like he is top tier when it comes to lighting. So if you want high quality, and the pricing honestly is not.
No, he doesn't overcharge either.
Overcharged versus like for what he does. Honestly, I feel like he could charge a lot more. But he's realistic with his prices and what he gets into, the amount of labor he puts into it, and that's it. He's not overpricing because he does better work than most companies out there. But he does. He does do better work than most companies out there and at a really good price. So if you need custom headlights, that's the guy to go.
Anything retrofitted, cab lights, headlights, mirror, whatever.
All these awesome lights on it.
Yeah, Phil's got them.
Jordan hand did it. So.
Yep.
And he's just easy to work with too.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
Chill guy.
Shout out to Phil.
I think we went over everything, right?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. And obviously the wrap, we put a wrap on it. Nothing screams SEMA truck.
Oh yeah.
Let's
give him a little full overview right here. yeah, if you guys want to see this truck in detail, I mean, we literally documented everything from start to finish on this truck. So make sure to go check it out. I'll put the playlist right here. But a lot of work was done to it. Anything else? Oh, we got some Rough Country steps that we're going to be installing. So Rough Country came out with their retractable steps that honestly, like, I got amp steps, and amps is probably the way to go for a lot of people, but we wanted to try Rough Country because, well, nobody's got them, nobody's used them.
I can already hear all the comments about, oh, Rough Country's trash. Well, you know, then put whatever you want on your show. I'm going to try Rough Country steps out. We're going to give an honest review of them. We're going to see what they're like. It might be amazing, and I hope they are. Yeah. So I'm really excited to give them a shot. I don't want to hear about all that.
And you know, amp steps are kind of like on back order. It's like months.
That's a big issue. Why don't I have amp steps? Why don't I have RPB? Oh, I don't have any of this stuff.
Back order.
Everybody's back ordered right now.
Yeah.
Literally, you couldn't get your hands on amp steps unless you wanted to pay 2 or 3 times. And when you're already investing this much money in a truck, it's like we need to cut the cost wherever we can.
Yeah.
And so we just decided no steps. And Rough Country reached out and said, hey, we have something that might work for you. You want to give it a shot? And we said, absolutely. We'd love to try it.
So we're going to do an installation video and then, you know, give you guys an honest opinion on how the steps work.
Yeah.
So I guess lastly, we have 30 rock lights, 4 of the premium plus, and then 26 of the regular premiums. So yeah, I'll get you guys. Yep, Quadro custom wheel lights.
Super bright,
yeah.
Super bright.
And Optima batteries.
Oh yeah, Optima gave us batteries. So everybody that pulled into SEMA pretty much was like, hey, you want some Optima batteries? And if we got to the side, they gave you free Optima batteries. So I was not going to pass up free Optima batteries.
We got to pop the hood. We got to show everybody how great of a job Alex did wiring up.
Alex,
Optima was impressed.
At the wiring under the hood because they said they saw every truck there. And mine was the one that impressed them because every truck in SEMA apparently had like rat nest.
Yeah. So a lot of these SEMA trucks that go to SEMA, they do have a rat's nest under the hood. Bro, I don't even know. All right, I'm just going to have to stretch. All right. So Optima batteries. All right, so I hope you guys saw what was under the hood. But that was Alex's job. You know, he did a really good job wiring up all these. He did the rock lights, wheel lights, everything that has to do with the lights. He wired them, made a little fuse panel and everything, or distribution box. So, man, he did an amazing job. He always does. Yeah, and that's why I wish. Yeah, and that's why I wish we could have taken him to SEMA this year, so he could see more vehicles and learn more from them. But
we're gonna have a whole new so we got new projects online, right, for this upcoming year. New projects to go to SEMA next year, and so I think we'll get to showcase some more of everybody's skills, including Alex, because one of them is going to be some major wiring going on in their own, which is going to be pretty interesting. But you guys will have to stay tuned to see what that is.
Yeah. Up next should be tunes and then maybe a turbo upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of turbo upgrades on the L5B Duramaxes coming up after Christmas. Stan's trying to close the hood. The struggle. There we go. That's how you close it. All right, you need your parachute now.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Oh, good land.
For 16.
That is it for the overview of Stan's truck, with us getting so caught up in finishing the truck. And once we got to SEMA, there was other stuff that I needed to film, so I totally forgot to give you guys a complete overview of that truck. I know I never gave you guys an actual walk around of that truck with the new TIS wheels and the Fury tires. So we were at an event called Bring It Back Meet, where all the car guys and truck guys come and hang out, hosted by East Coast Lighting. So huge shout out to them for throwing an awesome show every year. So, you know, while we were there, I wanted to take that time to give you guys a walk around video of that truck. And make sure to stay tuned. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because we are going to be doing a comprehensive overview of how much money was spent building that truck. Because I don't know what it is. Everyone thinks SEMA trucks are just built for free, and everyone thinks companies just throw them parts. It is not true, and I'm going to tell you guys exactly what all is involved. We did a video with Matt's truck last year, but we want to do another video with Stan's truck because this case is a little bit different than Matt's. So stay tuned for that video. If you guys are excited, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you made it this far, put this emoji so that way I know you made it this far. We are doing a Black Friday sale, so everything is 15% off on the website. Hats, t-shirts, rock lights, everything. Whatever's in stock is 15% off. So go purchase whatever you want, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Like, comment, and subscribe.